Good afternoon and welcome to Leeds United player ratings following their 3-2 victory away at Norwich yesterday. So it seems like ages since I've done a player ratings video. Just to quickly summarise, I try and base my player ratings on the sport as a whole and how they played as a footballer in their position on that day, not necessarily context of the league they're playing in. I like to be able to compare and contrast across the leagues and if we were to get promoted and so on anyway. So I'm quite strict with my marking. We rarely get up to the 8s, and I don't think we see many professional footballers drop below like a 4.5 or a 4. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with the goalkeeper, big Elan Meslier. So yeah, his positioning wasn't brilliant on the corners. A couple of things that could be tweaked and improved there. He is having a solid season, so I try not to get too carried away with the criticism. A lot of people like to use him as a scapegoat. I think 6 for me. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these, and also who you think was the man of the match. Then we're going to go over to left back, which was Sam Byram for the majority of the game. I think the error came down his side that led to the first goal. Other than that, he was solid enough. I'm going to go 6. Into the middle, I think we have a contender for man of the match for me. Pascal Struijk has done very little wrong all season long. Really happy with how Farke is bringing out the player we saw in Struijk under Bielsa. And I'm going 7.5. That might seem generous to some of you, but I honestly think he was really, really solid, really good. And I'm a massive fan at the moment. And when they had to adjust and he had to play left back, he just did it and it was great. Rodon, I don't think was as good as Struijk. A couple of little errors from him. Maybe he's on slightly tired legs. I don't know. I'm going to say 6.5 for Rodon. Again, you may disagree with me. Just let me know why. You don't have to kick off. Just let me know whether you'd give higher or lower for these players. Then we're going over to right back. And this is something I do want to talk about young Archie Gray, because with one hand, we've got Leeds fans saying we need to look after him, we need to nurture him, this, that and the other. And then with the other hand, we've got Leeds fans saying he was poor, he was this, he was that. He's 17 years old, he's playing out of position. Just give him some slack, do you know what I mean? Like, he's doing a job that Farke thinks he's capable of, and against Bristol City didn't have a great game yesterday, but he's developing, he's gaining experience, he's getting that exposure, and it's all a learning curve. So why don't we just let him be? He had a poor game. We'll give him a poor rating, a 6. But he's 17. He's playing out of position. If you'd have told us that we'd have won 3-2 away at Norwich, coming back from 2-0 down, and we had a 17-year-old midfielder playing at right back, yeah, it just is what it is. So I don't want to hear overly. It's fine for us to criticise Archie and say he had a poor game out of position, but it's when people jump on it, and I just don't want to see that. Anyway, let's get into the midfield. Ampadu, again, I would say a contender for man of the match, but a contender is all it is. I think he's a 7. I don't think he was as good as someone like Pascal and a couple of the other players coming up, but I think 7. He was cleaning up as he always does, which is great. In there with him was Kamara for the majority of the game. I think he was quiet. He was my man of the match at Bristol City. He got my first 8 out of 10 this season. I'm only going to give him a 6 this time. I just don't think that clicked. I think they were finding a way through the midfield a lot as well, the way they set up. But yeah, a 6 for Kamara. Out to Dan James, who was playing on the right for most of the game. He did switch over to the left. I think he was solid. Again, people kick off because I criticise Dan James. That's not because I'm saying Dan James is having a poor season. I just know there's more in him. And I think this is the year that Farke can get that extra bit of potential out of Dan James. I think he was very, very solid. He got an assist, 6.5 for me for Dan James. I do like him. I rate him as a player. I think he's up to 5 assists and 1 goal this season. I just want to see more from him. And I think that's fair enough. He's an expensive player who's played at a high level. So, yeah. And Somerville. So for me, I instantly gave him my man of the match because I think part of it for me was I've waited a while for Somerville to start churning out these more consistent performances. I've said a lot that I can be critical with how long he spends on the ball, how long it takes him to make a pass, but he's getting better at it. He's got an end product on him. He's a confidence player. He's a streaky player as well, I think. From what we've seen, there's still a lot of experience to gain for Somerville. He hasn't played, if you actually total up how many top-flight games he's played, it's not that many. He's only 21 years old. So, yeah, I'm giving him a 7.5. It's not going to be an 8. I know a lot of people will be like, he was amazing. People comparing him to Rafinha. People saying he's world-class, £100 million player. He was good. He was good. He was good in a championship game away at Norwich. In that last half an hour, he was exciting. I've really enjoyed it. I'm just not getting carried away. You could push it out to an 8. That's absolutely fine. But we're all entitled to our opinions. Let's just wait and see. Support the boys and see what he does next game and the game after. It's all about building that consistency. And on that one, let's talk about Jorginho Rutter, who actually is very close again to man of the match for me because so much comes through him. I would love to see some stats about his link-up play because that's where he really excels. That linking from defence to attack, like he just seems to find the passes and make the moves. And yeah, I'm a massive fan of him. I would give him a 7.5. I know he didn't score. He did get an assist. I just think he's brilliant. I think he's fun to watch. He's exciting. Some of his footwork is right up there. Really enjoying watching him play football. And then Piro's a 6 for me. Didn't really do a lot, but that's okay. We're going to get games like that. The quicker Leeds fans start to realise that some games we won't see a lot of Piro, some games he'll bag 1 or 2 goals, and that's just how it's going to be. It's frustrating, but that's fine for me. We know that. We've been told that. And yeah, we deal with it. Into the subs. Farke made some brilliant subs. People have asked me to rate Farke, and I'm going to give him a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10 yesterday because the subs were really vital. Not in terms of what they did, it's the terms of how the team was able to attack the game. Bamford didn't do a lot, 6 for me. He'll get fitness. I'm not going to slate Bamford. I'm going to give him time because I'm an adult. I have rational thoughts. We don't have to scapegoat Bamford for no reason. Let's just wait. Nonto, 6.5. I thought he came on. He did fine. He looked fairly sharp. And hopefully we just see him grow into that. Who else came on? Then we had Jaden Anthony came in for Dan James. 6.5. I can't really remember that much. There's a few link-ups down the left. I don't think he did much wrong. I thought he was solid enough. I'm not going to rate Aylin and Cooper. It was great for them to get another cameo. Wasted a bit of time in stoppage time. They're obviously great to have around. You see them hugging Somerville afterwards. They're good influences on the bench, probably at half-time as well. They've got a lot of experience. But yeah, that's my player ratings. I understand that we all have different opinions. If you go on social media and have a little look back at the comments people were making yesterday when we were 2-0 down, it blows my mind. People even slating Somerville. The same people slating Somerville, by the way, who at the end of the game were calling him a £100 million player. Mental. But yeah, that is football. That is Leeds fans. I appreciate everyone watching this video. If you can leave me an MOT in the comments if you made it all the way to the end, because I do appreciate you guys listening to me talk about Leeds. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know, or other kind of videos that are longer, then just let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you for the support. Go check out my other videos and marching on together.